Okay, so today we are going to add an additional domain controller. To add an additional domain controller, what do we need? We need to have a server operating system available. See this DC01, you are aware, this DC01 is my domain controller 01, which are where I have hosted google.com, correct, right? So that is for Bangalore location, imagine. So today I'm going to add an additional domain controller for the Hyderabad location. Okay, to serve the Hyderabad location users, how can I add an additional domain controller? That's the today's topic. Okay, so let me quickly go to the VMware and I'll create a virtual machine quickly. Okay, I'll click on create a new virtual machine and I'll go with the custom option, and this is by default. I will go with the 17.x and I will install the operating
So
system later. Yep.
unable to see the screen, sir.
Sorry,
So the screen is not present.
screen is not visible, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Hope you are able to see the screen now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was talking here. Let me. Yeah. I was telling I have the DC01 now. Okay, this is my first domain controller. Okay, which is Google for the Bangalore location. Imagine. Okay. So what I will do now, I want to add an additional domain controller. So to add an additional domain controller, what I need to have a new server created. So to create a new server, I'll go to this VMware workstation. I'll click on create a new virtual machine and I'm going to build a new domain controller now. Okay, it's a 17.x and I will install the operating system later. Okay, and here I'm selecting Windows Server 2016. If you want Windows 10, you can select Windows 10 on the top, or else if you want a 2016 operating system, select the Windows Server 2016. Yep, and click on next. So here Windows Server 2016. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add rename it as ADC01. Okay, so before I do that, let me check if I have free space in the C drive. So if I go to the C drive, I have 35 GB. That's okay, enough. Okay, so I'm gonna continue next, and I will select the firmware type. Okay, unified extendable firmware interface also fine, or BIOS is also fine, not a problem. And processor, you don't need to change the process, guys. Here, Manu, you are doing this mistake. You have added I think you had one CPU, but you have added a two CPU last time. Okay, that's the reason it was failing you. Okay, so just go with the default processor, don't change the numbers here, but for the machine memory, you can just click on 4 GB. If you have, see, my computer has got 16 GB. See here, the maximum recommended maximum, it is showing capping is here, showing 16 GB, so I can give 4 GB. If your laptop has got 8 GB, you can give 2 GB, or if your laptop has got 4 GB, just give 1 GB, not a problem. Okay, but more the RAM you give, the machine will be faster. Okay, so next, by default everything is next, and here create a single disk, fine, and finish. See, now I just created a VM. It's a bare metal VM and there is no operating system. I want to install the operating system. To install the operating system, I'll click on this CD DVD option here, CD and DVD option here, and I have the Windows operating system available with me. Use ISO image file, click on ISO image file, and click on server 2016. Whatever you have downloaded, select it, click on OK, and now you try to power on the virtual machine. So once you power on the virtual machine, see the operating system detected and it is asking me to press any key. As soon as I hit on any key, okay, see it is started installing. Installation, the loading has got started. Okay, look at this now. Yeah, so it will be started loading now. Yeah, so now what I will do, I'll just go with the English option. I don't need to change anything. Click on install. Yeah, setup is started actually. So now it will ask you to accept the license terms and conditions, and you know what kind of operating system you wanted, all those stuff. You have to select that. Yeah, but I need here a Windows Server 2016 data center evaluation version with desktop experience. Okay, desktop means you have UI, user interface will be there, graphics will be there. By looking at that, you can perform the activities, right? So I'm gonna click the last option and I'm accepting the license terms and conditions. Okay, and here I am not updating anything. I am going to freshly install the operating system, hence I am selecting the last option called install the Windows only advanced. And you have 60 GB drive. What I'll do, I'll just create one drive of 50 GB, 50,200. Okay, now I have 50 GB created, and for okay, remaining 11 GB, that's okay. 51,000 I would have given, that's okay. I will just install it in the C drive. Okay, another 11 GB is left out. Later we can create that as a separate drive. I'll show you how to create it. Okay, so let us wait for this to complete. Yeah, I can see it now here. Okay, fine. Yeah, so it's getting ready. Let this get completed. Yeah, it is now booting, guys. Okay, once it start booting, it will allow you to just log in and set up the password and all. Okay, once you set up the password and all, normally we will do the post build activities like renaming and IP address management, all those things. Okay, so let us that get populated. Yeah, see here it is asking me to set the password. You can set the password at the rate 123, password at the rate 123. Okay, and you are going to reset the password. Now the password has been reset, and now we are trying to log into the ADC of Hyderabad location. See, now it is not in a domain, it is still in the work group environment, and that is the reason it is only asking you to enter the password of the local administrator, and it is not giving any other option also to change the account or to switch to the domain, right? So what I will do, I let me enter the local administrator password, which is password at the rate 123, and once you log in, okay, let me verify the IP address first. Okay, now the computer has got some IP address. Okay, look at here. If you go to the command prompt, and if you run a command called ipconfig /all, you can see ipconfig /all, and if you see, it is a DHCP enabled one. DHCP enabled one is S. Okay, and if you look at the IP address, you see IP version 4, it is 192.168.230.175. but if you look at the IP address of this server, it is 192.168.1.30. okay, see here IP CONFIG IP config, see 192.168.190.30. what I will do, I'll make other server as 31. okay, I'll make this server as 31. I'll go to network control panel ncpa.cpl to open the network interface card here, double click on it, go to the properties, go to the IP version 4 here, and here use the following IP address. I'll click and I'll add 192.168.190.31 and gateway 192.168.190.1, and in the DNS address I need to specifically mention some DNS server IP address. So in the DC01, it is not just the domain controller, it is also having the DNS server. See here, you have the DNS server here. Since the DNS is already installed in the DC01, I can use this 192.168.190.30 as a DNS server. 192.168.190.30. This is my IP address of this server, DC server, right? See here, DC01 192.168.190.30. since this 190.30 has got DNS role here, I am adding the IP address of that server in the preferred DNS server of this server. Okay, so once this is promoted as a domain controller, even this will become a domain controller. Okay, if you don't put, you cannot add it to a domain. Okay, you can create a fresh forest, but to an existing domain you cannot add an additional domain controller until and unless you are not adding this DNS. I told you, without the DNS you cannot do anything. Active Directory will not work. Okay, so secondary you can put that server also as the second server 192.168.190.31. See, 31 is the same server IP address. It is still not a domain DNS server. It is going to become a DNS server. That's why, just to avoid the timing, I'm just adding this server IP address in the alternate DNS server, because once this is getting promoted as additional domain controller, it will also work as a DNS server. That is the reason. Okay, I'll say OK, click on OK, close it. Now let me quickly check the computer name of the DC ADC01. How to check the computer name? Guys,
Host name.
yep, there is a command called host name. See, my computer name at the VMware level is ADC01. But if you look at the PC level, operating system level, you still have different name. Correct, right? So what we have to do, we have to rename it. How to rename? Any idea?
Properties.
What other options we have? Do we have any command? sysdm.cpl, I told you, sysdm.cpl. See how easy it is. You are directly going to the renaming option here. This is very easy, correct? Now, another option is you need to go to this PC, okay, right click on this PC, go to properties, okay, and then you go to change settings, and then you go to the system computer name, click the change setting. Okay, so this is a time consuming and long one. Okay, so what you can do, you can straight away just run this command sysdm.cpl. Once you click on sysdm.cpl, you still see the server is in work group only. See here, the full computer name is Windows 9S IMD EVT4LC, but the work group is, the domain is not there, it is still in the work group. What I'm going to do, I'm going to rename it to ADC01, additional domain controller, but I will not add it to the domain. I will just simply say OK, fine, and I'll get the machine get restarted. So post the machine get restarted, you will have the name proper. And the next one is you need to install the VMware tools, because see, even if you made it full screen now, it is not full screen. It is only giving you very small window. Okay, because you have not installed the VMware tools. So installing the VMware tool is very crucial. Okay, otherwise you will not be able to control it. Sometimes the network interface card driver won't come. Okay, many other dependencies are there. So what you can do, you can just send control delete password @123, and let me quickly install the VMware drivers. Okay, password @123. Okay, I have just logged in. Now if you just go to this PC, right, you have already inserted the CD. I've already inserted the CD here, this PC. See, VMware tool is there. Double click on it, VMware tools, and just double click on the setup file. You will start installing the drivers. So once the driver gets installed, then you can see the machine get restarted and you are ready for promoting a domain controller. Okay, so that won't take much time. It will hardly take 2-3 minutes of time, not a problem. So I want to install it completely because I don't know what to install or what not to install, so better to go with the complete installation. Hence I'm just clicking on install. You see now the wizard has started, the installation wizard got started. As soon as the installation is begin, and you see automatically the UI will be changed. I mean the graphics, the full screen, this will become full screen. Okay, it will get stretched to the complete screen. See here, it is applying. See, it has become full screen. So that is why installing the VMware tool is very important. Now see, it is asking me to restart the machine. The machine get restarted. I have just clicked on OK. So we need to wait for this to get restarted. Yeah, see, the computer is now back online. Let me log in, send control delete, and enter password @123. See now, we are ready. See, to promote a domain controller, what all things we needed? We need a server operating system, and we have the server operating system, and we have a server called ADC01, right? And then the proper naming convention. Yes, my computer has got a proper name, and the proper name is ADC01. I have verified it both at the OS level. Look at the OS level, host name if you put, okay, ADC01. And if you look at the top level, ADC01, I mean the VM level also, it is ADC01. And if you look at the IP config /all, look at here. Now it is not a DHCP enabled IP address, means the computer, the server has got the static IP address. Normally the server should have a static IP address, because once in the lifetime of the server the IP address will be changed. You have your Aadhaar card never gets changed till your lifetime, correct? The same goes here also, okay? So now we are good, guys. Now we are good. Now what we have to do? We have to promote this computer to act as an additional domain controller for the other region, Hyderabad region. And before I go there, let me go to the DC01, our domain controller 01. And if I go to the Active Directory users and computers, you see a container called domain controllers here. And in the domain controller OU, you will only see the DC01, and it's a computer, and a DC type is a global catalog, correct? And it is linked with default first site here. Okay, you can create multiple sites also. Okay, this is for default first is either it is for a Bangalore location. If you have a separate Hyderabad location, different network, what you can do, you can go to Active Directory sites and services, and you can create a new site called Hyderabad here. But in our case, we don't have separate network thing, right? We are having the computer both in the same network only. My first IP address is 192.168.190.30. ADC IP address is 192.168.190.31. Means my both the servers are in the same network. Since my both the servers are in the same network, I don't need to have a site, because to have a site we should have the routers, we have the connectivity, blah blah blah, many other things are there, okay? But if you still want to create, you can just come here to the sites, okay? Just right click on the site here and new site, you can create Hyderabad site 01. So that Hyderabad site 01 should have a connectivity with the default first site it is. See here, until unless I have not selected anything, it is grayed out. And I am telling now, let both default site link, which is my Bangalore location, and Hyderabad site 1, let's have the connectivity so that they can exchange the information. Select OK. Now you see a new site got added here. The first one is default first site, and you will see here you have the server DC01. Maybe in the Hyderabad location, when you put the servers, right, it will just come and sit in the Hyderabad location. So what happens here, you have the subnets. You can create the subnet. Say for example, new subnet like 192.168.190.0/24. It is /24 network connecting both default and Hyderabad site. Okay. Now I have created. See, I have created a site, and if I use the IP address in the same range, okay, that will just go and sit in the Hyderabad location. Means any computers in the Hyderabad location or anywhere, if they use this IP address range, that will directly redirect the users to the servers which are presented in the Hyderabad site. Okay, see why I am explaining this one? How a computer will understand, or now you are logging in from Hyderabad, how your computer will understand, do I need to talk to the Bangalore domain controller or Hyderabad domain controller? So that depends on this site. Means the which site your computer is connected now. Today you are connecting in Bangalore office. Your laptop has got Bangalore IP address. If Bangalore IP address is there, means let me create one more new subnet 172.16.1.0/24. Okay, and it is, say for example, this one. And if you look at here, So if a user has got IP address, laptop IP address with 172.16.1.0, that will just go and talk to the DC01, because while creating the subnets, I have told any user who are having the IP address in this range, they will be redirected to the DC01. Similarly, if any user is there whose IP address is starting here, okay, though those will be, or no, they will be redirected to the Hyderabad domain controller. That is how this sites and subnets will be created. That's why while explaining the FSM roles, I told you we have domain naming, partitions, configuration partition. While talking about the partitions, Active Directory partitions, I told you we have a configuration partition. The configuration partition stores the configurational information, like how many sites we have, how many subnets we have. Okay, that information, this is the same information I was talking about. Okay, so let us keep it aside. Let me go here to the ADC01 and let me promote this to a additional domain controller. So now this is my work group machine. In order to convert this to a domain controller, which role I have to install? We should install one role, right? What is that role, guys? So we need to install the Active Directory Domain Services role. Okay, we need to install the Active Directory Domain Services role. In order to install the Active Directory Domain Services role, what we have to do? We have to click on Add Roles and Features. Now I have clicked on Add Roles and Features. So a wizard got opened. Okay, so what I have to do? I have to click on Next. It's a role based or feature based installation. It's a role based one. And you look at here, my server name is ADC01 and my IP address is 192.168.190.31. It has got a proper IP address and operating system is a data center version. I'm fine. So let me click on Next now. Once you click on Next, it will ask you to install the role. What role I have to install now? Which role we need to install in order to configure the Active Directory?
Active Directory services.
We need to install the Active Directory domain services. Okay, so since I'm creating the domain, so I have to install the domain services. Okay, add features, and see I have not installed DNS. Automatically, see it gets selected. See I have not installed DNS, I have not selected DNS. See here, it is not selected now. I have selected only Active Directory. So next, and you look at group policy management, automatically selected. I have not selected. Okay, so next, and you can just install and finish. Now this is just installing the role, just making sure this particular service got installed in this server. This will take about 30-40 seconds. So once the installation starts, you see here a notification bar opened here, a notification symbol showing 1. Okay, let us wait this to be completed. Yeah, it's in progress. Now it will show you installation be completed and configuration should be pending. Okay, installation completed, and click on continue the configuration, like that it will give you a notification. Okay, or you see configuration is required, installation succeeded on ADC01. We are good. You can close this. You can close it and you can just click on this notification symbol, warning symbol. Okay, click on this notification and you see here configuration is required for Active Directory domain services at ADC01 and promote this server to a domain controller. What I have to do? I have to click on promote this server to a domain controller. Then this DC promotion wizard gets started. Okay, add a domain controller to an existing domain, add a new domain to an existing forest, or add a new forest. Okay, so the first option is, see, add a domain controller to an existing domain. What does that mean?
Already you have a AD.
Yeah, already I have a Active Directory infrastructure. I am going to add an additional domain controller, correct na? So will that be applicable for me?
No, sir.
Why no?
If there is no AD. Actually, now
Why there
we
is
are.
no idea? Here is already there. DC01 is there. I
We
just
are.
told you DC01 is already there. That is for Bangalore location. That is
Yeah,
why I
we
have created Hyderabad site here. But in Hyderabad, we don't have any domain controller. So I'm going to add an additional domain controller to the existing forest, google.com. That means the first option is eligible. Understand? You add a domain controller to an existing domain. I already have a domain called google.com. No, I'm going to add an additional domain controller to Hyderabad site. Second one, if you look at add a new domain to an existing forest, I'm not going to create an india.google.com or uk.google.com and add a
I think
forest. I
both.
don't want to add a forest. Correct, right?
So both are different missions. DC01 is different. ADC01 is different.
Yes, domain controllers, the servers are different, but domain is same, na?
Okay.
Yeah, domain is same, right? So you're working in Microsoft. No matter whether you're working in Hyderabad, Bangalore, nowadays it is work from home hybrid is there. It is not necessarily you should be sitting in Bangalore office. You can even go and work in the Hyderabad office also. So domain is same. Okay, we are just adding a domain controller. That's all. See your computer capacity is 1,000 users, but you are having 2,000 users. So that is performing, the performance will be impacted, correct? And normally within 1 second the authentication happens. If more users are there, it may take you 3 seconds, correct? Na? So what I am going to do, I am going to add an additional person. So in your home, if you are the only person earning, how much ever you earn, it will not be manageable. It is not enough. Your brother or sister started working after their education. No matter if they bring 20, 30,000 salary, it will help you a lot. At least some portion of the commitment will be handled by him. So basically to take the load of yours, okay, basically to take the load of yours, the same goes here. So you already have a domain controller called DC01 for google.com, and that is for Bangalore location, and you are going to start an additional office in Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, if you want to add 500 users, 1000 users, for them you need to have one domain controller to do the authentication. Okay, so that is why you are creating or you are adding one more domain controller to the existing domain called google.com. Okay, so you have to click on the first option and click here google.com and click on select. Once you click on select, it will ask you the username and password. The username and password should be google/administrator and the password is password@123. Okay, and you see here it will retrieve this Google information now. See, it is blank now. It will just take a while, but it will show you retrieving domains in forest. Okay, in this domain called google.com, or if in this forest.google.com, how many domains you have? Okay, so google, 1 second. See guys, here in the preferred DNS server, see the wrong DNS address is there. It is 192.168 should be there. It is 18 is there. That is the reason it is not talking to the domain called google.com. So what I will do, let me correct that. Okay, 192.168.190.30. Now it is correct. Let me click on OK. And now if you go here, if you just put select here, see it detected. You got a domain called google.com. Select that google.com, apply OK, and then say next. See, now it has passed that stage. It got past that stage, and now it is asking the DSRM password. So DSRM you already know. DSRM is nothing but directory service restore mode password. So Active Directory, if you want to restore something from the deleted objects, you need to go to this DSRM mode. Okay, password@123, password@123. Okay, say next, next, next. So here it is asking you to replicate from which server. I told you, right? So all the domain controllers are identical. If you go to the DC01, the same folder structure you will see in the ADC01 also. There is no difference at all. Okay, I'll show you. So it is asking from which domain controller I want to replicate. You can select DC01 here because you have only one existing DC01. But if you have n number of server like 20, 30 domain controller, if you select this any domain controller, whatever domain controller is close by sitting next to each other or maybe less network latency, it will select automatically. Okay, so next, and it will ask you to pick up the select the database of the Active Directory. Fine, next, and you next, and you click on install. Okay. Yeah, I click on install. See, now checking the domain upgrade status, and next DNS installation will begin, and then replication will begin. Everything will be start beginning now. Look at, it's waiting for the DNS installation to finish. See, so this will take a minute. So once the installation is succeeded, see, waiting for the DNS, changing the domain membership of this computer, means this was a in work group. Now it will add it to the domain now. Configuring the local computer, replicating the schema, directory partitions. See, domain information is getting replicated. So now it will be completing and it gets restarted. Machine will get restarted. It is still in progress. Configuring, see, it got successfully configured as a domain controller. Now it is asking you to restart. I mean, it get automatically restarted. You don't need to touch anything. Even if you are not touching anything, it gets restarted and it comes up. So once it comes up, okay, let this come up. So what I will do, meantime, I'll go to the DC01 here. See, DC01, if I go there, and now if you go to the Active Directory users and computers, if you refresh this domain controller option, OU, you see another one. See, ADC01 for which site? Hyderabad site. See here, ADC01 is for what? Hyderabad site 01. So since I have added this particular computer to the Hyderabad site, so any user with that 192.168.190.0/24 range computer connected, and when they enter username and password, with the help of this connection, it will just go and talk to the ADC01 of the Hyderabad. Okay, and then authentication will be done. Sometimes if the ADC is down, that is not up and running, maybe it got shut down, then it will just wait for a couple of seconds, like 2-3 seconds it will wait. If it is not responding, then automatically it will go to the domain controller of Bangalore, DC01. Okay, so it is not like that, ADC is there to Hyderabad only. If that server is not there, then authentication won't happen. No, it is not like that. Dedicatedly we have kept that, primarily we will keep that as Hyderabad location domain controller, but that will serve other location also. So DC01 we have in Bangalore, but for some reason if ADC01 is shut down, the Hyderabad user can talk to Bangalore domain controller and get the authentication done. You can even create the password, reset the password, create the user, group policy checks, anything can be done. Okay, not a problem. So let me go to this ADC01 is now. See, ADC01 got up. So let me send Control Alt Delete, and now you look at, even the ADC01 also got converted to a domain controller, and you see Google/administrator is there. Correct? So let me put the password and hit enter. So now I am able to log into the domain controller. See, I have logged into the domain controller. Let me quickly go to the command prompt and show you the setl. If I put, see, now if I put setl, the authentication is happening in logon service ADC01. See, ADC01 is also a domain controller now. See, if I put the enter username and password, I am logging into this server. What is the server? Logon server is ADC01, the additional domain controller 01. Okay, so we are good. Now let me go to the tools option and explore the Active Directory users and computers wizard or console. If you go to this console and if you expand this google.com, if you click on domain controllers, you see still two domain controllers there also in the google.com. See, if you just go here, let me show you something. Look at the folder structure. Under the google.com, you have built-in computer disabled OU domain controllers. If you go to the ADC, also same. See, google.com built-in computers disabled OU domain controllers. After that, foreign security principal India manage service account users. Same thing here. See, foreign security principal India manage your service accounts and users. If I expand India, see, you have two folders, Bangalore and Hyderabad. If we expand India here, same folder structure. See, Bangalore and Hyderabad. If we expand Bangalore, you still have admin, HR, IT sales. Same thing if we expand here in Bangalore. See, admin, HR, IT sales. Open Hyderabad, also same Hyderabad, admins, HR, IT sales, AO. And if you go to the ADC and expand the Hyderabad location, see the same admins, AO, HR, IT sales. Same folder structure is there, guys. Okay, so it is replica. And now let me create a new user in Hyderabad IT. Say for example, I am gonna create a new user as Hyderabad IT, HYD hyphen IT, okay, or HYD IT. Okay, here HYD IT, okay, google.com. Next, PASSWORD at the rate 123, PASSWORD at the rate 123. So uncheck this, next, and finish. Now I have created the new user in Hyderabad IT, where in the ADC01, correct na? It will take a while and the same get replicated to the DC01 here, okay, and go to the IT and just refresh. The user will be getting populated here. In some time, within less than a minute, the user will be coming and sitting here. Okay. Similarly, what I will do, I will go to the India here. I am in the DC01. Under the sales department of India, Bangalore sales, I will create one user called Bangalore sales. PAS, okay, Bangalore sales, BNG sales, okay, at that google.com. Password is password at the rate 123, password at the rate 123. User must not change the password, finish. Okay, now one user I have created in DC01, another user I have created in ADC01, and let me check if both the users are synchronized each other. Okay, if I go to the IT right here, let me close it and open. Here also same, let me close this and open. So click on Windows style option, go to server manager, go to tools, users and computers here. See, Hyderabad user, it is already there, okay, and in Bangalore sales, it is yet to come, that will come, not a problem. DC01, if you go here, open the server manager, tools, go to users and computers. It is still not came, but it will come. So if it is not coming, I will show you how to do. Okay. So see, now you have created the users, correct na? But it is still not replicated. It will take some time. Within 3 minutes or 5 minutes, it will be there. Okay, it will come. Sometimes if you want to forcefully do the replication, okay, what you have to do, you have to go to tools, go to Active Directory sites and services, okay, then you see that servers gets the sites and services will be opening, and in that particular site you have the particular server na. Right click on the server. Now see, if you go to default for site Hyderabad Bangalore location, just right click on this connections, and you see here 1 minute. See here, replicate configuration from the selected domain controller. If you just click on this link, it will, if you can select the replication, click on replication, see active directory domain services has replicated the connections. Okay, so you whatever options you have, we can replicate configuration to the selected DC. Okay, fine. Okay, so here also you can do the same thing, but here we don't have any connections. We have only created the connection between Hyderabad and Bangalore, correct na? Not with Bangalore and any other one, correct na? So what I will do now, if you go to the Active Directory users and computers, it should be there. So it will take some time, even though if I replicate na, it will take some time. And you are calling out the replication, it will just come in a minute. Okay, maybe in a minute or two it will come. I'll show you. So this is how you can add an additional domain controller to an existing domain or a forest, not a problem. Okay, so tomorrow what we will do, we will try to do the FSMO roles. What is FSMO role, where we can see the FSMO roles, and how can you transfer FSMO roles from one domain controller to another domain controller, or now you may have all the FSMO roles in one domain controller na? How can you move 2 to the another one, 3 to the one server, like that I will show you how to toggle or how to move the FSMO roles from one server to another server. Okay, and tomorrow also, tomorrow anyway it will get replicated in some time. Okay, you can see that as well. So with that, with interest of time, I am gonna stop the class for today, stop the recording.